Hello, hello. Welcome back. My name is Danae Wolf. I'm a financial clarity coach and a profit strategist, which means that I help ambitious entrepreneurs like you increase your profits and decrease your stress. And I do that by teaching financial literacy in my signature program, Profit Perfect. Profit Perfect is your one-stop shop for all things entrepreneurial accounting. I went through and removed all of the textbook accounting boring stuff that your CPA studied in school, and I only gave you the good stuff, the stuff that you actually need to know in order to make and keep more money in your business. And here's one of my favorite parts about Profit Perfect. Once you enroll and you're a student, you can join me or someone from my team on a money meeting every single week. That's right. We all hop on Zoom face to face and we answer any of your burning financial questions. It's a safe space where you can finally figure out how the heck does money work. Because here's what I need you guys to understand. If you don't know what's going on in your bank account, you don't know what's going on in your business, okay? There is a treasure trove of data hiding in your bank account, just waiting for you to review it. It's going to help you be a better entrepreneur. It's going to help you make smart, strategic decisions in your business if you learn how to read and interpret your numbers. So if you guys are ready to take your financial skill set to the next level, go ahead and enroll in Profit Perfect. It is linked below, and I hope to see you in one of our money meetings soon. Now, today, we are diving into how to save for taxes. Something that I hear all the time from entrepreneurs is that they were blindsided by their tax bill, right? And first of all, nobody ever wants to be blindsided, right? But you especially don't want to be blindsided when it comes to money, right? Money is probably one of the last things you guys would ever want to be blindsided by. So today I'm going to tell you the specific formula that you can follow in order to make sure that the next time Uncle Sam sends a bill, you're ready. Okay, before we get into how to save for taxes, let's talk about why. As entrepreneurs, it's our responsibility to save for our taxes, file them, and pay them, okay? When we were employees, this was something that our employer actually did. That's why when you looked at your pay stub, you would see gross paycheck, deduction of all of the taxes, and then your ultimate take-home pay, aka your net paycheck, because your employer has taken on the responsibility of withholding all of those taxes from you, filing them, and paying them off to the proper entities. But now that you're self-employed, guys, you have to make sure that you are getting that money over to Uncle Sam. So that's the reason why, as entrepreneurs, we've got to save for taxes, because we don't have a boss who's going to do all of that for us. So you are now the employer of yourself, and you have to make sure that you are saving for taxes, filing them, and paying them. Now, we are very specifically here talking about income taxes. Income taxes are the biggest tax you guys will ever pay. It is the tax that we pay on, as you guessed it, our income. Now, if you want to know more about the different types of taxes and how they all work, go ahead and check out my video from last week. It's going to break down everything that you need to know about taxes, because if you know me, I love to take very complicated matters and make them completely simplistic. So that video will really help you gain a grip on how exactly taxes work. Now, today we're talking about how to save for your income taxes, and we just went over the why, right? The why is because you do not have a boss who's going to do it for you. So you are now responsible for reporting your income to Uncle Sam and getting them the taxes that they are owed. And next thing I want you to understand is that it comes down to two types of taxes, okay? Not only are you going to owe income tax to Uncle Sam, which is the IRS, aka your federal taxes, but you're also going to owe income tax to your state if you live in a state that has income tax. Fun fact, there are several states that do not have income tax. So first thing that you guys want to do is head over to irs.gov and do a search for the most recent income tax brackets. This is going to help you figure out the percentage that you are going to owe Uncle Sam. Then what you can do is head over to your state's Division of Revenue and take a look at those income brackets. This way, you will be able to figure out the percentage that you need to set aside for your state. Then you would add up both of those numbers and boom, you now know the percentage that you are going to be taxed on. So once you get both of those numbers, let's say it comes to a total of 30%, which #disclaimer, I am not your tax pro, but I do advise my students to set aside 30% each month because I typically find that to be a sweet spot. What do I mean by sweet spot? I mean that I find if you save 30% each month, you typically have just the right amount to pay Uncle Sam. Sometimes you might have a little bit extra, but I generally don't find that you have a little bit less. But if you don't want to go by a generic 30% rule of thumb and you want to get really specific on your actual percentages, head over to irs.gov, check out the income brackets, and head to your state's Division of Revenue to figure out the percentage you should set aside for that. Now, the next thing that you need to understand is your gross paycheck as an entrepreneur is essentially the profit of your business. So a lot of times I think business owners get confused and aren't entirely sure what they're going to be taxed on, right? When you are an employee and you have a job, you know what your salary is from work, and therefore you know you're going to be taxed on that amount. But as an entrepreneur, it can be a little confusing. So I'm gonna break it down for you. As an entrepreneur, the government is going to tax you on the profit of your business, which means that you need to know what the profit of your business is each and every month. And the way that you do that is through bookkeeping. I know that nobody wants to hear the B word, but I promise you, bookkeeping is a necessity in your business. If it's something that you really don't want to do, reach out to me. I'd love to take it off your plate, or start figuring out a system that works for you so that your bookkeeping isn't so overwhelming. I have a wonderful bookkeeping template that will help you. It will even help you calculate your taxes each and every month. It's the Know Your Numbers Now template, and I will link it below. Now, once your bookkeeping is completed every month, you're going to know what your profit is, right? And here's the great thing about profit, guys. It's actually a very simple equation. It is your business revenue minus your business expenses equals profit, AKA that's your taxable income. So now you know what your profit is. You know what your tax percentages are based on the research that you did on irs.gov or your state's Division of Revenue, or you're going with the general rule of thumb of 30%. So you're going to take whatever your profit is and you're going to set aside that percentage. So let's just say it's the 30%. Each and every month, you will set aside 30% of your profit. And each quarter, you're going to owe the IRS their portion of that money and your state their portion of that money. Now, I am going to be doing a video here soon that is going to break down for you exactly how to make these quarterly payments. I promise you guys, it's quick, it's painless. But before we could even get to the point of paying them, I wanted you guys to understand how to save for it. So I hope that this video sheds some light. I promise you, once you start living in this world of managing your money, it does become second nature. With time, you're going to find that you have a fundamental understanding of how this all works, right? The equation of revenue minus expenses equals profit. I set aside 30% of my profit every month in order to make sure that I have money saved for my taxes. Every quarter, I pay said taxes, right? That's how this all works. That's how the money game works. And if you understand that, you can really start to make smart strategic moves in your business. So I suggest you complete your bookkeeping every single month so that you can figure out exactly what your profit is. And then you set aside your percentage. If you didn't take the time to do the due diligence of figuring out your exact percentage, go ahead and use my golden rule of 30%. You're going to set that aside. And what I think you should do is put it in its own business savings account, okay? Because what I'd hate to have happen is that you guys actually took the time to save the money every month, but you left it in your main checking account and it accidentally got spent, right? We don't want to do that. So great rule of thumb, guys, just have a separate business savings account. That is your tax savings account. The only thing that lives in that account is the money that you are saving for Uncle Sam. This way, it's sort of out of sight, out of mind, right? So when you're logging in and checking your bank balance, you don't have to say, oh, I have 10 grand in there. Wait, I owe the IRS 3 grand. So really, I only have 7, right? I don't want you to have to do that quick math like that, right? So as you figure out what your profit is, figure out what your percentage is, and you get that number of what you need to save that month, go ahead and transfer it. I'm telling you, you will thank me later. And when it comes time to make your tax payments, you can go ahead and just simply pay them directly out of that tax savings account, okay? I am not a fan of having dozens and dozens of bank accounts, right? If you guys follow me, you know that. I like to keep everything as simplistic as possible, but this is definitely an example where another account is needed. I myself have a tax savings account. I make sure all of my students have a tax savings account. It's just a really great rule of thumb. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know. If you are listening on the podcast, please leave a review or subscribe. Anything that you guys can do to engage with my content just helps the algorithms show this to more entrepreneurs. And I believe that financial literacy is key, which is why I want to get this content out to as many entrepreneurs as possible. And the best way for you to help me do that is to like and share and engage with my content. I will see you guys next week, and I hope that you enjoyed this.